Ngayon naman po gusto kong tawagin si Mr. Manuel Mugato na isang journalist upang siya naman po ang magsalita. You are recognized, Mr. Mugato.
Maraming salamat po, Honorable Chairman. At maraming salamat po sa imbitasyon ng Honorable Committee on Human Rights. Ako po ay walang presentation pero narito po ako upang magbigay ng salaysay tungkol po sa ginawa ng Reuters News na ako po ay kasapi hanggang 2019 nung ako po ay mag-retire. Ang Reuters po ay gumawa ng maraming series, at least 10 series tungkol sa war on drugs ni Pangulong Duterte, at inimbestiga po kami sa loob ng 17 months. No? Nagsimula po ito noong Abril 2016 nung tumatakbo si Pangulong Duterte sa halalan. At natapos po ito noong December 2017. At ang series po ng Reuters ay nanalo po ng Pulitzer Prize noong 2018 sa international reporting. Ano po ba ang nilalaman ng aming investigasyon dun sa 10 special series na ginawa namin? Kami po ay sumasama gabi-gabi dun sa mga nakitang namamatay sa war on drugs nung first 6 months, no? From July 1, 2016 hanggang December 31, 2016, no? So ang ini-interview po namin ay mga witnesses, mga biktima, kaparian, ang mga pulis, ang mga funeral parlor, barangay, lahat po. Wala po kaming hindi ini-interview para makuha po namin all sides, no? Pati po ang office ng Presidente, Pangulong Duterte, at ang PNP ay hinihingan po din namin ng komento sa aming investigasyon, sa aming susulot na report. No? Kaya masabi ko po na parehas ang aming reporting. Sa katunayan, si Pangulong Duterte po ay hindi po kailanman binatikos ang aming reporting, no? Sa 17 months. Ang madalas niyang binabatikos ay yung ABS-CBN, Inquirer, pati ang New York Times. Pero ang Reuters po ay kasi parehas po kami ay hindi po niya na binatikos. At isa po, lahat po ng report namin ay dumadaan sa abogado para masiguro po namin na hindi po libelous at wala pong hindi tamang reporting. At sa paggawa po namin ng report, pabalik-balik po ang ginagawang editing ng aming editor sa New York at sa Singapore. Kaya pulido po at masabi ko na totoo at wala pong halong publication ang aming ginagawang reporting. Ngayon po, nagsimula po ang aming report noong Abril, nung kami po ay may na-interview sa Bangkerohan Market sa Davao na isang babaeng nagtitinda ron. At sinabi niya na meron siyang mga anak na napatay sa Tokhang sa Davao na 3, no? Puro teenager, magkakaibang panahon. At dahil po dyan, tinanong po namin siya, kung sakaling manalo si Pangulong Duterte, si Mayor Duterte bilang Pangulo sa darating na halalan, ano po masabi nyo? Ang sinabi po niya, naku, wag naman sana dahil babahan ng dugo sa ating kalye pagka nangyari yan. At nagdilang anghel po siya dahil nung unang araw pa lang ni Pangulong Duterte sa Malacanang, marami na po ang namatay. Dahil po doon, nagkaroon po ng interes ang aming mga editors na gawan po ng special report ang war on drugs. At hindi lang po ang Reuters, no? Lahat po ng international news agency ay naging interesado dahil sa nangyayaring war on drugs sa Pilipinas. Kakaiba po siya, no? Kasi wala pong ganitong nangyari nung unang panahon. Nung panahon lang po ni Pangulong Duterte, nagsimula ang maraming patayan, no? At karamihan po rito ay mahihirap, no? Karamihan po ng namamatay doon po sa mga depressed areas, no? At ang center po ng gravity nito ay yung Quezon City, Manila, at Camanaba, lalo na po ang Caloocan, no? Yan po ay ayon sa aming datos, no? Kasi po nung first 6 months ng war on drugs, napakabait po ng ating kapulisan, no? Maraming salamat po sa kanila dahil lahat po ng report nila ibinibigay sa amin. May ballistic report, postmortem report, special report, update report, progress report, lahat po ng dokumento tungkol sa war on drugs ay binibigay po ng ating PNP. Kaya meron po kami na-compile na maraming dokumento. At yan po ay nasa aming opisina. Ngayon po, nung nagkaroon ng kaso sa ICC noong April 2017, pinahal po ata ni dating Senador Sani Trillanes, nagsara na po ang gripo. Wala na po kami makakuwang detalye, no? Kaya simula po noon, kanya-kanya na pong hanapan ng ebidensya at ng mga papeles. At kami po ay sinuwerte dahil meron pong isang retired police general na aming nakausap. At gumawa siya ng special report about the war on drugs. Siya raw po ay kinausap ng mga kaparian ng CBCP upang gawa ng report kung ano talaga ang sitwasyon sa ating Pilipinas, sa ating bansa. At itong Police General senior po sa amin yung kanyang report at sinasabi niyang meron daw pong ino-offer na reward ang ating gobyerno pag nakakapatay ng drug dependent, drug suspect, peddler, user o trafficker, no? So, naging interesado po ang aming opisina dahil sa kanyang report at ginawan po namin ito ng special report noong Abril 2017. Pero ang problema lang po dahil siya po ay secondary source. Hindi po siya yung talagang gumagawa nung sabihin natin pagpatay, no? At hindi po siya yung talagang original source. Dahil ang kanyang report, meron siya binabanggit na 17 na PNP active officers na nagsasabi sa kanya at dinidetalye ang Oplan double barrel na ginagawa nung panahon na yon, no? So, siya po ay kinausap namin at sinabi namin na pwede bang iharap mo sa amin yung source mo para ma-interview namin, no? Matagal po namin siyang niligawan dahil natakot siya na baka ma-involve yung kanyang source at mapahamak dahil active duty, no? Pero sa huli pumayag siya, no? At dinala niya po itong PNP police officer na isang kapitan doon sa isang restaurant sa Green Hills, no? At doon po namin nakausap. At sinabi nitong kapitan na parang wala naman pong vigilante na pumapatay ng drug suspect. Kasi po, ang mga pumapatay ay sila rin, no? Katunayan, nung kausap namin siya, meron siyang pinakitang text message sa kanyang cellphone, no? Ang sinasabi rin sa text message, pwede ba alisin mo ang mobile patrol car mo sa gantong lugar, sa gantong oras, sa isang gantong araw? Kasi dadaan yung riding in tandem namin. Baka ma-encuentro nyo. Yung pong text message niya ay galing sa isang koronel na head ng intelligence ng NCRPO at that time. So, dahil sa kanyang text na binigay, sinek po namin kung may nangyaring ganong insidente sa lugar na yon, sa ganong araw, sa ganong oras. At meron nang pong nangyaring ganong insidente, no? So, kapatunay lamang na ang gumagawa ng mga riding in tandem during that time police din. At sinasabi nga niya na kadalasan nung trigger man dun sa mga riding in tandem mga baguhang police. Parang baptism pa daw yun, no? Tapos, meron kaming nagawang storya, tinatawag na dead on arrival, no? Yung dead on arrival kasi nung unang mga drug war operations namamatay yung mga suspect, tapos inimbestigahan ng SOCO, no? Pero dahil nga yung pinakita na video kanina ni Atty. Conti na may tumatayo, no? Binago ng PNP yung kanilang modus operandi, no? Hindi na nila hinihintay yung SOCO. Dinadala nila yung kanilang victim sa ospital. Pero para makasiguro na patay yung kanilang victim, tinutuluyan na, no? Kaya ang interview namin sa mga doktor sa ospital, kung saan sila dinadala, karamihan daw ng biktima nabaril, malapitan. Paano po maalaman? Kasi may mga tattooing po sa katawan o sa ulo yung mga biktima, no? So, ibig sabihin, para wala nang ebidensya, tinutuluyan na yung mga victims, no? At ang isa pang kiniwento sa amin ng kapitan, nung una raw, pagka sa SOCO, pinapakita nila yung baril hawak nung napatay, ng victim, no? Pero sa totoong buhay daw, pag barilan ka, hindi mo hawak yung baril, no? So, ang ginawa nila, binago nila yung kanilang style, no? Na nakatilapon yung baril ng konti. At ang problema lang, minsan kasi pagka hawak-hawak ng baril, yung namatay left-handed pero ang baril nasa kanan, no? So talagang marami pong isinalawat sa amin yung police captain na nagpapatunay na talagang nai-involve po ang ating kapulisan sa war on drug dahil po merong reward system na binibigay ang ating gobyerno. So, yung po siguro ay isang motibasyon.
Yung ba yung quota system?
Kasi ang sabi po, kung hindi pulis ang papatay, meron pong mga sibilyan na inuupahan sila para gawin ito, no? So, yun po ay nakalitalye sa aming 10 special report na makikita niyo po sa internet, no? Sa Duterte's War on Drugs. So
meron po kayong special report, written special report doon?
10 po yun, Your Honor.
Can you please submit that to us also?
Opo.
Salamat po.
Thank you.
Mr. Spirit,
I also would like to say na ito pa lang si Mr. Bogato ay merong Pulitzer Prize Award, no? Congratulations po sa inyo. Oo, okay.
Chairman,
Yes, Congressman.
in the spirit of transparency, kasi nag-generalize natin yung lahat ng mga PNP. Kasi he mentioned about a certain general, a certain captain, and
Yes.
a certain colonel. Are you in liberty to tell the names of these general and captains and colonels and 17 active PNPs, considering that the organization is the totality of our organization are being generalized. I think it's incumbent upon this hearing to name the names of these police officials. Otherwise, yung pong moral ng ating pong mga kapulisan ay maapektuhan. Are you in liberty to divulge the name of those officials that you have talked with?
Alam niyo po, kami pong journalist ay hindi po namin divulge yung aming sources.
In that case, Mr. Chairman, you are putting our organization in jeopardy because
pero yung retired general,
the totality of your manifestation naming a certain general and a colonel and a captain will put the organization in bad faith, and that's the reason why this representation would like to ask, even if you have if you are being constrained to tell your source, maybe Mr. Chairman, in the executive session, may bigay niyo po sa amin para naman sa ganon ay ma-relieve din yung ating pong mga kasamahan sa organisasyon. We all know that there was indeed 6,000 deaths sa EJK, and according sa mga news ay involved ang how many percent? 52% are police related. So, but of course, hindi naman po sila lahat, di ba? And that's the reason why we are asking this.
Your Honor, yung retired na police general, pwede ko bang banggitin dahil siya po ay namatay na. Pero yung mga active duty,
Parang si Morales lang yan, brother.
pinoprotektahan po namin. Yung
Sige, pwede po ba malaman ang pangalan?
si General Rodolfo Mendoza.
Rodolfo Mendoza.
Opo.
Siya po ay
Dating intelligence officer ng PNP.
yun po yung nakausap din po ninyo.
Siya po ang main
Main source.
namin.
How about the colonel that you were mentioning a while ago and also the captain?
Ay,
buhay
hindi
pa,
po kasi,
buhay pa.
Buhay pa ho, tsaka active pa eh.
At saka yung 17 na active
Yung
PNPs.
17 active, hindi po niya binigay sa amin ng mga pangalan. Kasi pinoprotektahan din po niya yung identity.
Pero yung nagsabi po ng reward system is the kapitan.
Hindi po, si General.
Si General nagsabi.
Oo.
Sumalangit na ang kanyang ano. Anyway, yun lang po Mr. Chairman kasi medyo I hope you understand the
Opo.
predicament. Being the chairman of the public order and safety, I have to protect the organization as well. And although marami kami mga bad eggs sa organization, we are cleansing the organization. But with this statement that you have mentioned in this committee, I'm sure the morale of our organization will be much lower, no? And that's the reason why sana po mapangalanan natin tong kapitan saka yung colonel para nang sa ganon ma-relieve naman po yung mga active pa po ba yung yung kapitan
Active pa po eh.
hanggang ngayon?
Opo.
And the colonel active pa rin?
Opo. Palagay ko yung colonel naging general na at yung kapitan colonel na. So,
Can you
pinapangalagaan po namin yung identity nila kasi ayaw po namin silang mapahamak.
Oh yeah, okay. I will yield to the wise wisdom of our chairman with regards to the naming of this police official.
Katulad po ng sinabi niya, pwede niyo ba sabihin na executive session?
Mahirap po baka mapahamak sila.
Okay. Anyway, ngayon po naman, I'd like to recognize our incumbent resource persons here to speak. No, we have the Congressman Paduano, are you recognized? Are you going to say? Yes, we'd like to recognize the presence of Congressman Karap Paduano, who is the chairman of the Committee on Public Accounts. This time, we would like to also recognize to speak before us an incumbent general, Police Brigadier General Jericho Baldeo, who is the chief of the PNP HRAO. You recognize Police Brigadier General? Siya po ang ating human rights sa ating kapulisan. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, sir. I just would like to give the opening statement of the PNP during this meeting of the House of Representatives Committee on Human Rights. To the honorable members of the Committee on Human Rights, invited resource persons, esteemed guests, good morning. I think good afternoon rather. At the onset, the Philippine National Police or the PNP acknowledges the importance of this hearing in support of legislative action. However, it is worthy to note that the PNP does not engage in extrajudicial killings. The PNP is an institution founded on the principles of law, order, and respect for human rights. The war on drugs has been a complex and challenging endeavor aimed at curbing the pervasive problem of illegal drug trafficking and abuse that has long plagued our nation. However, we recognize that our methods and actions must always align with legal and ethical standards. Again, the PNP does not condone extrajudicial killings. Any act that violates the law and the fundamental rights of individuals is unacceptable and contrary to the values and mission of the Philippine National Police. The PNP has always emphasized that regardless of how a killing is categorized or named, the same is investigated and should be investigated. We have taken significant steps to address and investigate allegations of misconduct within our ranks. This includes the establishment of internal affairs units, which conducts motu proprio investigations pursuant to their mandate under Section 39 of Republic Act Number 8551. Any officer found guilty of violating the law will be held accountable and face the full consequences of their actions. Furthermore, we are continuously improving our training programs to ensure that our police officers are equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge to perform their duties effectively and ethically. This includes training on human rights, the proper use of force, and community engagement. I would also like to highlight the importance of cooperation and collaboration with other government agencies, civil society organizations, and the public. We believe that a multi-sectoral approach is essential in addressing the root causes of drug problem and in building a just and humane society. In closing, the PNP wants to assure the honorable members of Congress and the Filipino people that the PNP remains steadfast in its duty to protect and serve with honor and integrity. There are no extrajudicial killings sanctioned or condoned by the PNP. We are committed to building a safer and more just society for all. Thank you, and again, good afternoon, sirs.
Thank you. We will later on ask questions to our resource speakers, but this time we would like to recognize Police Brigadier General Lex Ephraim Gurat, the NCRPO in the police office.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. This is an opening statement from the NCRPO. To the honorable members of the House of Representatives Committee on Human Rights, especially to its esteemed chairperson, Representative Bienvenido M. Abante Jr.
Before you continue on, you are supposedly representing
NCRPO, sir.
the NCRPO led by Police General Nartates.
Led by Major General Jose Melencio C. Nartates Jr.,
Okay.
sir, the Regional Director of NCRPO. Foremost, we express our gratitude to this honorable committee for inviting the PNP to participate in this crucial discussion and for providing the opportunity to contribute to the government's efforts in safeguarding the human rights of the people. As a law enforcement agency, the PNP stands firmly with the government and recognizes its mandate in respecting human rights and dignity and upholding human rights. In line with this, the PNP fully supports the initiatives of this honorable committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation relative to the cases of slain victims of the war on drugs and all related atrocities. Guided by the foregoing principle, the PNP is committed in complying with the requirements of international human rights law and will continue to uphold the responsibility with dedication. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. That's all.
Thank you. And now we'd like to recognize Police Major General Leo Francisco of the CIDG, Philippine National Police.
To the honorable members of the House of Representatives Committee on Human Rights, other invited resource persons, and other guests, good afternoon. The Criminal Investigation and Detection Group is committed to monitoring, investigating, and prosecuting crimes involving economic sabotage and other serious offenses that indicate the involvement of highly placed professional syndicates or organizations. The group is also dedicated to upholding human rights and dignity. We recognize the importance of this hearing and its role in supporting future legislative action. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that statement. O kayo po mga tatlong nagsalita, talagang committed kayo in upholding human rights. Therefore, you're going to, coordinate with us in everything, no? I'd like you to know that, okay?